Okay, let's see if this works now. Yeah, this is live. I just did a long, maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes live here. This is still my tiny private project, but it's got a name. I've been talking about privacy tools and strategies and tactics and like a culture for privacy and online security. I've named this channel something along those lines. The reason for that is that there has been a need. I got my bank account closed. Well, not closed, but I was like denied transferring my own already taxed money out of the country internationally in 2020. Revolut blocked my account in 2020 because I didn't have a proof of work, and this bank that I had, which was like a credit union, should be totally dependable, but it comes from above, of course, and they denied me the right to transfer my own money because I didn't have a paycheck any longer, and I didn't have a paycheck because I had migrated. So in the West, there is a real need to deal with all of these things. There's much less of a need outside of the West. I'll always prepare myself and work with these things, and I'd be happy to help people around those things, and I need to do it in a setting where I'm gonna travel more than before, and I might get caught up in Europe, and I'm not gonna back down on the basic right to exist in a sane way. This thing goes way back, and it goes much deeper, which is why I've been doing like videos on DDR and everything, and it's gonna fail. This technocracy is gonna fail. In the meantime, I need to survive. I want to survive, so this is why I've been spending a lot of time being in that space and preparing. But ultimately, it's not a good place to be mentally, to continually have to deal with these things, and conditions have changed now, so for me, I can be out there, and then I really need to go headlong into another thing, which is something that has really bothered me even since I was a teenager 40 years ago, and that is the insistence in the West that the universe is made out of matter, and your brain creates your consciousness, and all of this insanity and everything that comes with it, all of this totalitarian control. These things are linked. The need to control everyone as if the universe is a machine, and the need to, social credit score has been a thing in the West for a long time. My case proves that. But I also know from experience, because I have avoided any problems around it, that I've seen others run into problems with it, serious problems in the West, because they dare to think outside of the box, and they dare to even talk about mental states that are beyond rationality, and like non-dual states. And I should not have to worry about that. I fell into this headlong when I was a teenager. I registered as a Buddhist. I fell headlong into Tibetan Buddhism in '94. I know that universe quite well. I know how to use these tools to a certain degree. Then I did a 3 bachelor in acupuncture, which is a non-reformed, non-materialistic, more spiritual, original type of acupuncture. That didn't go through the whole technocratic, or whatever you call it, like the materialistic revolutions in China. So I know this Eastern universe a little after 30 years. I know it's to such a degree that it's useful for me personally, so maybe I can be of use sharing that somehow. And these are the things that really matter. These are the things that really help me. Originally, I was thinking of coaching people in all of these aspects that you need to survive and thrive in this technocratic assault on the global population and nations and cultures and everything. But now that I can be out there, and I've been prototyping, I've been researching, I've been not only the technological parts, but which is the videos I've done so far, and some of the social media account I'm going to share on that. This one is going to be in that vein, and I've been in this space between creating content, mainly as a photographer, writer sometimes, desktop publishing before the internet, and the underlying technology. So I can easily adapt to and deal with new technology, but it's years ago since I decided that I'll have to regard assets as tools. I didn't want to set up a secure laptop for myself with BIOS, and I don't want to do all of these things, I just need to do it. Then I also get some effective tools. Maybe I can also make an income of being like a production assistant or something, which is something I did in my companies kind of the past years. I've been this kind of micro-entrepreneur. But the real content, the real experience, the real exploration is what it has to be about. And a year ago I visited Egypt for 5 days. After a longer period in Nepal, I hadn't been to Nepal for 29 years. My very rudimentary knowledge of meditation tools and things made me kind of able to reset myself completely from all of the stress that I've gone through, which is well founded, but ultimately it all disappears. It all should disappear. The future is necessarily different than we think, and then this stressed part of me thinks. I'm just gonna launch myself headlong into this, and there is so much to explore because I have a handful of things that I know about the mind. I'm gonna call this Natural Mind. I'm probably gonna call the whole project Me Natural Mind. So I know some things. I know that some different meditational states are possible, and I know that there are like things like deities exist in mind, like this subconscious mind, and there's a lot of intelligence out there, and it's super clear that the mind is not produced in the brain. I've been doing this photography, and this is on the blockchain called Hive, and it's really great to be there. There are some things that I'm pondering on, whether like when it comes to how content is received and how I should sort content, and it's something I've put quite a bit of energy into because I need to have underlying my the foundations for what I'm going to build, whatever that would be, have to be so that they can't be taken away from me. Like this happened in 2020. I also walked away from 2 or 3 companies and part of a house and shitty pension, and I walked away from everything because my business partners were not able to adapt fully and rapidly and right away to the fact that the world has changed completely forever. So I also spend a lot of time on things like geopolitics and how the new economic systems are going to be shaped up, but I can't have that focus as a creative person. I'll probably put out videos, I'll probably mix it with travel, and I'll probably put it into that context. So this is La Sagrada Familia. It's maybe it's not random, maybe I've got some connection to that area in that magnificent cathedral in Barcelona, I don't know. I'm just doing this because up until now I've been wondering how can I mix like meditation and states of mind and exploring how the mind works and how people work and how cultures work, which is something I've been doing for many years. How can I mix that with photography? And I can't get a clear answer. Writing on Hive has been a great thing, so that might be an anchor point. Because I don't want to be, this is maybe my past, I really did not want to just start something new in 2020-21 where I could be cancelled again for having the wrong thought. If that's the choice, being a thought criminal or giving in and not talking about whatever I want online and publishing books on Amazon and they get deleted or whatever, and my payment challenge does disappear, well then I would rather live on the street with street dogs, and have kind of started roughing it in Nepal, and I would rather disappear as like this kind of hermit than totally give in to that. But there is this watershed moment when both it's possible to talk about these things now. It's an ongoing discourse online, and the payment rails and platforms and uncensorable tech is out there. This is the reason why I've been deep into privacy tech and uncensorable tech, is that I'm fed up. I'm not gonna give in ever again. This is also why I'm taking away all of this anonymity, and this is why I'm gonna relocate this is why I'm gonna stay half a year, not stay for more than 180 days in each country from now on, at least a year or 2 or 3. So why not explore what people and traditions all over the globe might say of how the universe, how the mind works, how the universe works as an extension of the mind. I think most traditions, if you go deep into them, you find something the same. And how individuals, like groups of individuals, and how real people on the ground experience the world, and how they relate to the nature of mind, and how maybe how they use different traditions to understand, and like in Buddhism, it's all about getting to a state where you transcend permanently all suffering. It's maybe different in other traditions, but it's the same in terms of dealing with the real world, like dealing with the conceptually bad aspects of the real world, because it's all relative, of course. Yeah, I guess that's it. 13 minutes. Doesn't matter if anyone's gonna listen to this. It's a diary for myself. It's a way of getting things out there, and once I get things out, I have to commit to it, and that's fine. It'll probably be quite wild and interesting.